Even when I cover your eyes, your heart still finds me.
Because my forever begins wherever you are.
Hello, I'm Rohi. Before I start my story, please like and subscribe to FHA.
Grew up in a fortress of marble and glass in the heart of Jubilee Hills. To anyone passing by, the mansion was a symbol of ultimate success, but to me, it was a silent, echoing void. I spent my childhood walking through corridors that felt like they were designed for statues, not for a girl who just wanted to feel seen. Every polished surface reflected back a ghost of version of myself that was meant to be small, quiet, and out of the way. My parents, Anand and Alakananda, were the architects of this beautiful, frozen world. They moved through Hyderabad society like royalty, their masks of perfection never slipping for a moment. To them, life was a gallery exhibition and we were the pieces on display. They were so busy curating the perfect public image that they forgot to build a home. Inside those walls, the air was always freezing, no matter how bright the sun shone outside. The warmth they lacked was never missing for everyone. My brother, Ayush, and our cousin, Kabir, were the golden boys of the household. They were the heirs to the legacy, showered with the praise and attention I starved for. I watched from the sidelines as they filled the grand LCing room with their laughter, the only noise ever permitted to break the oppressive silence of our LCS. They were the suns, and I was merely a shadow they cast. When the world stopped in Songpanyisip, the walls of the mansion felt like they were finally closing in on me. The lockdown stripped away my parents' public distractions, leaving only the sharp edges of their tempers. One afternoon, a simple set of misplaced keys became the spark for an explosion. I remember the way my mother's voice cut through the air, sharp as a blade. She blamed me for the chaos of her own mind, her fury directed at the easiest target she could find. Ayush never missed a chance to twist the knife. He would lean against the doorframes of my life, mocking my every move and magnifying my deepest insecurities. To him, my struggles were a source of entertainment. His words were a relentless rain of ridicule, a constant reminder that in our house of gold, I was considered the only flaw in their perfectly polished diamond. I spent many nights wondering if I would ever be enough. But the silence of the lockdown gave me something I hadn't expected, the chance to listen to my own heart. While the rest of the house slept, I stayed awake. By the glow of a single lamp, I began to build a bridge out of books and code. I realized that my value wasn't something my parents could grant or take away. It was a flame I had to tend to myself, a secret strength I was forging in the dark. Years later, the skyline of Madhapur became my new horizon. I traded the cold, suffocating marble of Jubilee Hills for the gleaming glass towers of the corporate world. Mindspace became my sanctuary, a place where my merit mattered more than my family name. I moved through those high-tech corridors with a grace born of Sir Hasiel, proving to myself that I was much stronger than the girl who used to hide in the shadows. It was among those glass towers that I met Akash. He was a burst of color in my world of grayscales. Unlike the men I grew up with, Akash listened to the spaces between my words. He didn't see me as a project or a trophy. He saw me for who I truly was. He saw the scars I carried and didn't ask me to hide them. Instead, he simply offered his hand, helping me carry the weight until I was ready to let it go. Our love faced the old, crumbling walls of tradition and caste that my family held so dear. But we weren't alone. Akash's mother, Sharda, became the mother I had always deserved. She looked past the societal barriers and the disapproval of others, choosing to embrace me not for my family's wealth, but for the person I had fought to become. With them, I finally understood what it meant to be accepted without conditions. Finally, the noise of the city and the echoes of my past faded away. On the golden sands of Vizag, I stood with Akash, the salt air finally filling my lungs. The ocean didn't care about facades, perfect images, or the expectations of Jubilee Hills. It only knew the truth of the tide. I looked at the horizon and realized the cage was finally open. For the first time in my life, I was truly home.
When a perfect family proves to be a mirage, survival means learning to live for yourself and discovering a love built on unconditional respect.